Should you write your own obituary? The answer to that question is yes. I'm going to be telling you some of the easiest ways to write your own obituary. However, even using the aids I'll be telling you about, preparing your obituary is hard work. But you can do it better and easier than anyone else. Do it while you're alive. Don't depend on someone else. Only you know what you want to say about your life. One of the most compelling reasons to write your obituary is that you'll be able to say whatever you want without fear of contradiction. Gather data from your family's past, your current family birth data, major events in your life, your medical history, your work history, and stories from your siblings and others who have impacted on your life. When you've got all that together, then you're ready to do some creative writing. All the preliminary work you do is leading up to the writing of your obituary. You'll save your loved ones a lot of stress if you do write your own obituary, at least up to the last year or so of your life. Whatever you do, be sure to file the work you do in a place where everyone knows about it, so it'll be easy to find after your death. Your obituary itself can contain information like this: your father's name, your mother's maiden name, whatever you want to say about your family's past, your spouse's birth information, marriage data, your children, personal stories about your life, including stories that make really good listening. You want to talk about your education, your employment of significance, the fraternal organizations you belong to, the honors and special recognitions you've received, public service, special achievements. But believe me, people are most interested in the really great stories of your past and of your friends and loved ones. Be sure to mention the events that everyone can relate to. Now, here are the specific projects that are involved in gathering data to include in your obituary. It starts with family information. This is your genealogy. Make a listing of everybody in your family: brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, cousins, all of them. And show their birth date. And if you want to include those who have died, in that case you'll want to include the date of their death. Recording family information and birth dates is just the beginning, and it's a big job. But everything you do will be helpful in preparing your obituary, and historically helpful to those who follow after you. The next thing is a timeline of important events. Now, what are important events or major events? Only you know. Create a timeline and a record of significant major family and personal historical events, because someday someone will want to know when it happened. Start with identifying the event, followed by the year it happened, or at least your best guess. The date it happened, then again your best guess, where it happened, and then end with a description of that great, marvelous event. Although many of the things you include in your timeline won't make it into your actual obituary, the information is important to your survivors. Some of the really distinctive things that happened in your life are undated, or worse, unknown. Be sure to write about them. The listing becomes the basis for your biography and your obituary. It's also an important historical document. Major medical events. Listing the major medical events in your life may prove to be of greater value to your children, especially if you have had illnesses that were caused by an inherited trait. Your work history is next. If your career in business had high points that would be of interest to others, include those specifics. But don't dwell on the jobs you've had, but do emphasize your major accomplishments that will be of interest to lots of people. Your religious, political, fraternal, and volunteer activities. Your friends are interested in the things you've done to promote the common good. And you'll want to say where to send contributions. Name the institutions you want to receive memorial contributions. Your obituary. It's one of a kind. And now, while you're alive and in good health, start writing your own obituary. Do your best to make your story interesting. Don't fill it with dull dates and statistics. You've lived a colorful and exciting life. People want to read about it. And believe me, the best obituary you can write is the one you write yourself, because it's your personal record of your importance. It enables you to be as creative as you wish, and it can include humor and special interest stories only you know. And your obituary truly reveals your true self. The obituary process starts with a statement about your birth and death, followed by a cause of death if you want, and from that point on, you're on your own. If you've done the considerable preliminary work, you'll have lots of resources to draw on. Remember, you're not writing a newspaper article, but an interesting story to be included in the funeral service document or in a newspaper or your other documents of interest. You may choose to run your obituary in the local newspaper. For sure, include your obituary in the funeral or memorial service bulletin, and additionally, email it to all your list. There's an obituary preparation form in the book that simplifies the process substantially.